Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on really how to get back to your happy space, how to get back to your yourself, how to get back to your safety. How do you really come home? How do you get to that happy space back within you? How do you start living there, feeling there, deciding from there, choosing from there, and becoming from there, and dreaming from there, and manifesting from there? How do you really get back to your happy space where you're safe, secure, feeling good, happy, life is in the flow, you've got a smile on your face, you've got the Mona Lisa look, there's something quiet about you, a peace, you're getting along with life, you're not constantly feeling like you're having to battle, react, live out of fear, live out of pressure, live out of that adrenal fight or flight. How do you really get back to your happy space? And that's really, really an important part of the tool that I provide here on the channel. And that is really part of the book that I'm working on here for those people who have been through the relationship issues and the life experiences. How do you really come through to the other side? How do you really land on your feet? How do you really strengthen up your core, your legs, your vision? And what are some, how do you really get back to that space and really begin to emerge and really create and manifest from that moving forward? How do you kind of elicit that prefrontal cortex that, where you're thinking differently, you're feeling differently, you're choosing differently, you're deciding differently, and you're attracting that into your life now. You're really kind of in that state of becoming and really growing. You're evolving, you're really in that growth. How do you get there? Well, I want you to think right now, and a lot of people really kind of want me to help, jog their memory and give some specifics, but I want you to get out a piece of paper. I really believe in, getting out that big notebook that we discussed here, the recovery journal, and there's a number of different sections, and I really want to kind of focus in on how to get back to your happy space. I think that's what a lot of people call it, where you feel happy, you feel secure, you don't feel like you have to explain and justify yourself. And I want you to get out a pen and paper right now. Pen and paper, and not a pencil. You can make it a big marker, you can make it a purple pen, blue pen, green pen, pink pen, whatever it is you want. But I want you to have a lot of paper. In other words, I want you to make a list of 20 things right now. And I want you to make it so it's 1, you've got, 4 spaces, 2, 4 spaces, 3, 4 spaces. And number your paper from 1 to 20. Okay, take just a moment and, not all scrimpled up, not on a torn piece of paper where you've got, 2 by 2 inches for which to write this out. I want you to have a big notebook, like this. A big binder, lots of paper, and I want you to begin to write right now 20 ways that you can treat yourself better. 20 ways that you can treat yourself better. And when I talk about treat yourself better, I'm talking about the way that you hold your body, the way that you use your voice, the way that you use your eye muscles, the way that you use your neck muscles, the way that you use your abdominal muscles, the way you use your legs, the way that you talk to yourself, your self-talk. This is all very important to healing and coming to the other side. And when I talk about, treating yourself, we also talk about what you ingest, from the food to the drink to the thoughts to the emotion to the people. And this is, I know that this is a lot, but I want this to be a lot for you, because this is a good question that you can continue to ask yourself. What are 20 ways that I can treat myself better? If you can see where you've been pressurizing yourself, get the role of metacognition, where we have the unique human ability to think about what we're thinking about. That is the role of the neocortex, the conscious part of your mind that kind of covers the mind. It's the gray matter that looks like a walnut. It has kind of a texture to it, and that is the unique part of the mind that has the ability, it's our conscious mind. But if you raise your consciousness, you can begin now, through this focused question, begin to see, how you've perhaps been mistreating yourself. So if you don't slow it down for a moment, it's like a business owner. You know, if you're working in the business, you need to take time and think about the business. And I've worked with a lot of business owners, so I know about this, and and business success. So what are 20 ways that you can treat yourself better? And whether it's talking to yourself, we have a lot of people, I don't know what I want, or etc. Realize that your self-talk can be very harsh. It can be very critical. It can be very strong. It can say things like, I hate my life. I hate life. I hate people. I hate this. I hate that. I'm angry. And this is your self-talk. It can be very harsh, very abrasive, like sandpaper. And it can be very self-condemning. But it's put in place oftentimes from, traumatic events, traumatic upbringing, shame-based upbringing, being treated like a scapegoat. And, this was put in place like a seed. These thoughts, are kind of, coming and generating from this. And so I want you to kind of get into that space and clear it out. I mean, like a thick, coarse broom, just brush out those negative thoughts, mop it out, if you will. Just clean it out, clear it out, get rid of it. Realize and, see that when that's happening, and begin to really feel contrary to that, and begin to use affirmations and the role of metacognition to the opposite of that. Say, okay, that is, my always moment, where I always kind of fall back into that rut. That's my Coca-Cola moment, if you will, where I always do that. Now is my joy time. Now is my peace time. Now is my placid time. Now is my serenity time. And begin to see and identify, catch it when it comes, and begin to throw it out like a piece of paper that you just crumpled up and throw it out. Begin to see it when it's coming and say, okay, that's my Coca-Cola moment. That's my, the negative always moment, and begin to just kind of dump it out, mop it out, broom it out, clear it out, throw it out. Get rid of it, because those are thoughts which can become automatic or habituated from previous conditioning, previous priming. Basically, you have been conditioned, meaning taught to and reinforced to think that way or feel that way. And it's embedded in the subconscious. So you need to kind of get into that higher place to move it out. And better ways of treating yourself are, speaking more gently, speaking more positively to yourself, allowing yourself to have a little bit of a smile, a pep in your step. Begin to engage in more kinesthetic behaviors, which are more gratifying. Whether it's cooking, whether it's painting. I can pick up a hobby. I can paint rocks with flowers on it. I can paint rocks with sayings on it. I can paint canvases. I can build tile. I can build tile art. I can do tile on a table. I can paint a table. I can paint a bench. I can paint a house. I can develop needlework. I can do crocheting. I can paint clothing. I can rivet wood. I can rivet leather. I can create leather pieces. I can create suede pieces. I can create silk pieces. I can create ceramic pieces. I can create works out of wood. I could go to the forest and harvest wood and begin to make designs or pieces of art from them. I can do this whittling. I can paint them. I can use multimedia. I can begin to walk and do exercises. I can at least stop feeling apathetic. I can begin to make lemonade. I can get fresh lemons and I can make pure lemon water. I can make pure watermelon water. I can use mint. I can go in and harvest fresh herbs, and I can grow in fresh herbs, and I can put them in the waters that I drink, and I can use healthy dandelion or other fresh herbs, and I can put them in water, or I can put them in water and sell them, or I can dry them and sell them, or I can bring them to a local co-op, and I can create my own line of fresh herbs that I can package and sell for people to put in their own water, and I can create a little label or a branding for that. I can develop this in my community or my community store, or I can take it online. There are all sorts of things that you can do to treat yourself better and do new activities which are coming from that better, that happier, healthier part of yourself. And, if a lot of people say, well, it's lonely, well, then, connect with others who can embrace that part of you and get together for an hour or 2 hours and create, a little group where you then do this. Begin to emerge, a little bit as a self-leader, autonomy and independent in this way. Begin to give yourself a little bit better routine. Begin to give yourself, a little bit of reward. Define what the reward is. If it's chocolate, okay, but it doesn't mean you have to, eat 3 pounds of it. Number one is I want you to also surround yourself with others with, what Napoleon Hill will call like a mastermind group. Begin to also surround yourself with others who remind you of who you are, who validate you for that real, true, authentic you, and aren't trying to trigger, a false or maladaptive part of you that keeps negative habits in place in a negative lifestyle and feeling sick and unhealthy. It's peace and harmony with you here today. I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.